Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. As always, I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we're going to talk about Two Face. But before we get into that, smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, be sure to leave us a comment, as that really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. We've got a great community here, and it is all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. With all that said, let's dive into the adventure. Prologue to today's story takes place in 1942 in Gotham City, New Jersey, where handsome District Attorney Harvey Dent is walking up the steps of the courthouse. People with cameras take his photo and comment on his good looks. Harvey proceeds to the courtroom, where he then begins to prosecute a mobster named Boss Maroney. In a rare public appearance, Batman is called as Dent's first witness. Batman then takes the stand and states that he and Maroney fought, but Maroney escaped and then shot Bookie Benson. Maroney yells, "He's lying! He's lying, I tell you." Dent then pulls out a two-headed silver dollar that is Maroney's lucky coin and was found at the scene of the crime with Maroney's fingerprints on it. And with that, Maroney realizes he's lost. So out of anger, he throws acid at Dent. Batman tries to deflect it, but some of the acid is splashed on half of Dent's face. Which brings us to the main plot of today's game. 1 month later, Harvey Dent is paid a visit by his best friend, Bruce Wayne, as well as Harvey's doctor. The doctor removes the bandages, and for the first time, Harvey sees the scars with horror-stricken eyes. Bruce tells him that he knows of a specialist from Europe who may be able to help. So they go to the doctor's home, and an old lady sadly informs them that Dr. Eckhart went to visit his brother in Germany long ago. Then the war started, and the Germans placed him in a camp. Bruce says, "Those devils." Harvey says there's no hope for him now. Harvey tells Bruce that his fiancée is a sculptor and that beauty is everything to her. He asks what he should do. Bruce says he's sure that she will love Harvey no matter what, and together they can get through this. So Harvey walks to her house, and along the way, everyone comments on how ugly he is. A little girl says Harvey's face makes her want to cry. Harvey finally gets to Gilda's house and shows his face to her. She is shocked to see him like this. So Harvey grabs her by the shoulders and shakes her. "So, my face is repulsive even to you. You, who I thought loved me. Well, look again. Look at the man you once called Apollo. Look." Gilda cries and says, "No, no, I can't bear it. Please don't." In an instant, something snaps in Harvey's anguish-torn brain. He takes two mallets to a bust that she sculpted of him and smashes half of its face, trying to get it to match his new appearance. He leaves, running home. He smashes a mirror, then pulls out Maroney's lucky coin. He slashes one of the two faces on it so it now matches his own scarred visage. Harvey wallows in self-pity, and finally, he flips the coin to decide if he should even bother trying to be a good man. But the coin comes up with the bad side. And with that, the gangster known as Two-Face is born. A month passes, and Harvey has put together his own gang now. They decide to rob a bank using Harvey's knowledge of law enforcement procedures to their advantage. But that night, Harvey flips the coin again, and the good side comes up. So he donates some of the money to an orphanage to buy the kids there some new clothes. The old lady that runs the orphanage is surprised by this. With another flip of the coin, he robs a jewelry store. And with another flip, he pays off a man's mortgage. Gotham City is confused by Two-Face's actions. Two-Face then goes to a double feature at a movie theater where the audience are watching old-timey newsreels about Superman fighting in the war overseas. But the news is interrupted when a sign is projected onto the screen stating that this is a stick-up and ordering everyone to place their valuables in the container that the gangsters bring around. Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are here, and Dick quietly asks if they should act now. But Bruce, in a whispered voice, tells him it's too dangerous and that those Tommy guns could do far too much damage to the crowd. For now, they'd better just play along, then follow the villains back to their hideout. So they do. And when Batman and Robin arrive at the hideout of Two-Face, they are surprised to find that half of the room is very nice, while the other half has been trashed. Batman and Robin fight Two-Face and his goons and lose. The gangsters just got better rolls of the dice, and the caped crusaders are knocked out. Two-Face flips a coin to decide whether or not he should unmask them, but the coin says no. So he lets them keep their secret identities. One of his goons goes to look anyways, so Two-Face shoots him twice. The other henchmen decide to obey orders. Two-Face and his gang then attack the Second National Bank, which has a giant penny out front as its sign. Using a crane that they used to rip the vault out of the bank, they create what is basically a giant seesaw and place the giant penny on one end and tie Batman to it. Two-Face flips the coin to see if he should tie Robin too. The coin says no. Batman wakes up and finds the situation he's in. He looks around and sees he's been tied to the giant penny and that Harvey has removed his utility belt. So Batman tries to appeal to the honorable side of Two-Face and the good-hearted man that Harvey Dent once was. Harvey sits down next to Batman on the coin, and Batman makes a roll of the dice. He gets a good roll, and Batman has successfully used pickpocket on Harvey without Harvey realizing it. As Two-Face monologues, Batman begins to cut the rope using the rough edge of the damaged coin. Harvey gestures for one of his goons to pull the lever in the crane to drop the safe on one end of the huge seesaw. But at the last minute, one of the other goons asks Harvey why he didn't flip the coin first. Harvey says, "You're right," and reaches for the coin. He pats his breast pocket but can't find it. He looks over at Batman, who's already cut through the rope with one wrist and is starting to cut through the rope on his other wrist, working to free it. Harvey yells, "Wait!" but it's too late. The vault is dropped. It hits the seesaw, and the giant penny is flipped high into the air, flipping end over end. We see Batman working on that rope. Then the penny turns, and we can't see him. Then, as it turns again, we see Batman once more, and now both of his hands are free. As Batman begins to untie an ankle, the penny flips over again. Two-Face watches with Batman's utility belt slung over his shoulder. The giant penny crashes to the ground and spins, but nobody can see Batman. Batman subbed an Omni-Gadget for the gliding power, so he's using his cape to glide slowly to the ground. Batman lands feet first on Harvey's face, doing damage. Batman rolls a 7 and a 9 for a total of 16. That's 2 column shifts. Harvey is knocked out. Batman has his utility belt back. The goons fire their Tommy guns at Batman, and he ducks behind Two-Face's car and puts the utility belt on. One of the goons goes to shoot Robin, so Batman throws a batarang and the sharp end sticks in the man's hand. The other henchman shoots at Batman but can't hit his dexterity of 10, and he multi-attacks them with knockout gas. Which brings us to our epilogue. Superman sets the giant penny into place in the Batcave, while Robin watches this show of strength. Batman asks how things are going in Europe. Superman brushes the dust off of his hands, and he thinks about the question for a minute. "They could be better," Superman answers. Batman says he should be there, to which Superman says criminals aren't enlisting, and the crime rate in America is through the roof. So they need heroes like Batman on the home front. But what Batman hears is that heavy hitters like Wonder Woman, Uncle Sam, the Spectre, Green Lantern, and the new female Dr. Fate are welcome in the European theater, while guys like Batman, Dr. Midnight, Hourman, Mr. Terrific, Sandman, and Wildcat are seen as a liability. Superman says there's another reason why America needs Batman. He says that while he was in Europe, he's been encountering a race of aliens from Mars who can disguise themselves as human beings. He says he thinks that Orson Welles was onto something with his big radio broadcast in 1938. Superman says that while the German war machine looks like a job for Superman, getting to the bottom of a high level cover up sounds like a job for the world's greatest detective. They shake hands, and Superman returns to the war. Batman, meanwhile, plays the radio broadcast by Orson Welles using reel to reel magnetic tape. He begins to learn that the Martians are real and they are here. That's a story for another day. We enjoyed playing this one. We hope you liked hearing about it. If so, as always, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, be sure to leave us a comment as that really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. We hope that you guys have a great week, and we will see you in the next adventure. Bye.